This is a guy that we've been standing for since we signed him last year. And we looked at the wide receiver position group last week during that game. Obviously, you have the four guys who already carved out their roles. So with JuJu, not roles, but the guys who are locks for the team: JuJu, MVS, Skyy Moore, and Hardman. Those are the four, right? So it was the 5 and 6, which we were kind of like, who's going to be that? Everyone who's been a big fan of Justin Watson, he looked like he was the one who kind of took off in that game against the Bears. Looked pretty good. I will say Shane Buechele played his ass off. I mean, he was making it easy for receivers. I know that's the quarterback's job to make it as easy as possible for receivers, but I mean, if Josh is getting that kind of those balls to him, I think we'd be talking about Josh Gordon right now instead of Justin Watson. But Justin Watson made the most of his reps. Maurice Fountain got a lot of catches in the same series where Justin Watson took off. But then our guy Josh Gordon was with Dustin Crum, and I think he had one series of Buechele, but it was mainly Crum in the twos and in the threes and the fours.
Buechele threw one to him on the sideline. He caught.
That was one of the.
But it was odd. but it was a good catch by Josh, right? Yeah. It was high, went on point. It was a late ball, but yeah. Go ahead.
And then another one where that was Crum threw him on the sideline. The other sideline couldn't get the other toe down. So he had two good catches, but he couldn't get both his toes down. And then Cornell Powell, our guy we've had on the show, had a couple catches, but he had that one drop on that slant. It was a wide open drop, but he had a good game. Other than that one little blip, he had a solid game. And then Corey Coleman really didn't do much. I saw him in the return game, had a solid kick return. But yeah, so right now, if the five guys are Watson with the other four that we named earlier, then it comes down to the sixth spot of this position. And that's between Fountain, Josh Gordon, and Corey Coleman and Cornell Powell. Everyone thinks Fountain's going to get it because he's already running with the twos, and he plays special teams, so that he'll automatically get it. I think pump the brakes on that. And also today, Mecole Hardman had a groin injury, and JuJu's been out of practice for the last 2 days with a knee injury. So those are two injuries to look at, right? And so you may want to carry an extra receiver. Who knows? But what the good thing about this is we're probably not going to play JuJu or Hardman on Saturday with these injuries they have right now. Probably be on the safe side, and not serious injuries, but be on the safe side because we know those two are making the team. But now that gives us what we want, which is equal amount of reps to Fountain, Josh, and all the guys who are fighting for that sixth receiver spot. And I think that's going to be what we see on Saturday. It's going to be who makes the most of their opportunity.
Right.
So I'm going to ask you here, what do you think of Justin Watson's play on Saturday? And do you think he is the fifth guy? And who do you think comes out on top of that sixth receiver spot?
Look, Justin Watson, that joker played his butt off, man. He did a heck of a job. He looked good out there. He really looked good out there, man. Caught the ball solidly, ran great routes, got open in the end zone, went up to go get the football. So he did a superb job on Saturday, no doubt about it. And so, does that validate the fifth pick or the fifth spot? Yeah, possibly, no doubt about it. I think you could definitely make that argument. I mean, he's been showing it, and so he's been making plays in practice. So I definitely believe he's going to make the roster, no doubt about it. I think Justin Watson is going to be able to make the roster. He's going to be able to help, the offense, man, with what he does. So, yeah, man, I think he did a great job on Saturday. Now, Maurice Fountain, I don't know, as far as, if he's a lock for the sixth pick or, the sixth spot and Josh is the seventh or whatever. You know what, man? You know what it boils down to? And everybody talks about special teams. But to be honest with you, on special teams, you either got to be the return guy that's going to make sure you get the nod, or you got to have a significant role on special teams. And usually as a wide receiver, man, you're going to be a gunner, or you're going to be a guy that's a safety. Maybe come down, make a play on kickoff. But, I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not really that much a significant role as far as like special teams, especially if you're not that guy. If you're just going down as a gunner, I mean, you could get a defensive guy to do that. I mean, they're much better than wide receivers are making tackles in open space. Wide receivers just have the speed to get down there. And so I don't know if that necessarily, like as far as that special team is like one of the things that you use to say he has a nod over Josh Gordon. And I'm talking about Maurice Fountain. But I'm in the camp of saying that I don't understand why so many people are just hating on Josh Gordon. To me, look, I get, like I said, you get behind certain guys and you champion them, and so have your horse and you bet on him and you ride with him. But the thing is, I'm gonna say this: Josh Gordon is a guy that if any offensive coordinator had on their squad, that's a guy that you want to keep. That's a guy that you just need to have. And so a guy that with his ability, his athletic ability, to go out there and make plays. And I'm watching him when he's not having the football. So I'm watching the routes that he's running when the ball's not coming his way. I don't know if everybody else is doing that, but I am. I mean, that's just film study, and I'm just looking at this guy. And so to me, Josh is still a good receiver. In my estimation. I mean, look, I've been around a lot of football. I have. I've seen a lot of wide receivers. I've been a lot of football. Josh Gordon, at 80% of what he used to be at from 2013 or 2014, when everybody wants a reference to, because he's not that guy. That guy's gone, right? But the guy's a more mature guy. He's Josh Gordon 2022, who's 31 years old, doesn't have a whole lot of miles on his legs, but still has speed, still has athletic ability, still has strength, still runs great routes, and can still catch the football with his hands. That's another thing. That sucker could snatch the ball, right? We know this. And so the coaches know it. That's the reason they brought him to Kansas City. Ain't no doubt about it. I get people who want to move off from him. He's washed up. Look, let me say this, okay? And this is where the whole pump your brakes on the whole, he's washed up and stuff like that. I'm saying this. If Josh Gordon doesn't make the team, it's not because he lacks ability. It's going to be because of the scheme that we run. That's the only reason that he didn't fit into the scheme that the Chiefs are wanting to put in what they have. Well, that's going to be it. He's not going to fit into the scheme of what they want and to utilize all his talents, right? And so sometimes the things just doesn't work. Sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. Then you get a guy and you're like, look, he's a talented guy. But what we want to try to do scheme-wise, we're trying to fit him into what we try to do offensively. And so we've seen him run like the jet sweep, doing the motion. I was kind of glad. I'm like, okay, well, shoot, now he's doing a little bit of that, right?
Yeah.
Because he's a big body, and shoot, that's a guy that's going to be able to fall forward for 4 or 5 yards because he's going to be able to run over some folks.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's promising seeing that. But, the whole washed up at just not so. I'm telling you this. If I'm an offense coordinator, I'm going to make sure if I'm looking in a room and I'm looking at all the guys in the room, I'm going to sit well at night. I'm going to put my head down on my pillow to sleep better at night, knowing 12 was in that room with me.
Mm.
If I'm going into battle, I don't care if he's going to be a reserve or he's going to be. If I got 12, I'm all right with that. I'm going to look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we got 12 in here. Good, cool, bet.
Mm.
And so I think he's making his way back. I think he's because he got hurt at the end of OTAs and you know what I'm saying, yep. The mini camps, and so that might be part of the reason for his slow start during the summer.
Mm.
And so, yeah, it's going to take some time. This might be the most opportune time for him to actually show what he can do. Since Mecole probably won't play, I'm sure he's not going to play because of groin injury, and then JuJu not playing. So maybe if he gets some reps with the 1s and the 2s, then he may get some more of those looks. Yeah. Because as far as ultimately, man, physically, ain't nothing that Josh can't do. Ain't nothing he can't do. And I'm going to be honest with you. Look, Josh Gordon right now at 85%, 80% of what he used to be is still better than most of the league wide receivers out there. Full stop. I don't care what you say. Look, everybody can have their own opinion about it. But look, I'm watching these guys out here. I'm watching guys from other teams, and I'm sitting there watching this. Josh Gordon has that ability, period. If I'm sitting there watching 35 or 34-year-old A.J. Green go out there and catch 54 balls in Arizona, Josh Gordon could definitely do that at 31 in Kansas City or go anywhere else and go do it. So even if it's not at the Chiefs, he could go somewhere else and still catch a lot of balls. He could be effective. Yeah. So if he's on the waiver wire, somebody's going to pick him up. And if they don't, then they stupid. I'm going to tell you that. I just think if the Chiefs got rid of him, they would get rid of him because they want him to go find home like they did Lonnie Johnson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Early, so get a fit somewhere. But it will be, like I said before, it's not going to be off his lack of ability. It's just going to be where he goes into the whole scheme of things. I always said this is like a small man's offense, right? You see smaller receivers in this offense because there's a reason, because of what they do with the movement and finding windows and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But a big body like Josh, back shoulder, fade route, go get it, body up. And man, that's all his ball. He's basically like a tight end, man, in that body. So, we got Travis roaming the middle, and Jody's going to be able to help out on that. But Josh, man, go deep with it. Shoot, run a 9 route. I don't care if that's the only thing he runs. Give him a shot, throw it up to him. If he's in the end zone, give him a shot, throw it up to him. He got big hands. He's going to snatch the football, and he does a great job, eyeing and catching the ball at the high point and strikes and stuff. Yeah. He's going to do that. So that's where I'm at with it, man. Everybody could disagree with me, but like I said, I know ball. I talk to guys. I talk to, coordinators. I've asked, man, what do you think about this? And they was like, yo, JD, I tell you what, this is where I'm at. And so I know how guys feel. And sometimes one of my boys was like, man, well, he only got the name and, the size. Well, shoot, sometimes the name and the size is all that matters. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still going to strike fear. It's still going to be a sense of respect with that guy like that. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, look, Mike Tyson ain't Mike Tyson from the 1998 Mike Tyson, right? He's not that guy. But I guarantee right now, if I'm looking for some of the baddest dudes on the planet, Mike Tyson's going to be on my side.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking for it, okay? Because I know at any moment that Mike Tyson is going to have a 1996 punch on somebody. He's going to have an uppercut and a hook. He's going to have that with him.
Yeah.
Might be one time or 5 times, but I guarantee, man, one time that sucker comes out, whop, he is taking you out.
Yeah.
I think Josh has that ability to maybe go out into the game to still get 4 catches for a certain amount of yards, right? Mm-hmm. I just do. And so it's a little bit unfair. Okay, I know I'm going on a little rant here, but I'm passionate about it.
You're good.
It's a little unfair when he came in basically in an offense where he used the words insurmountable, right? It's going to be hard for anybody to come in during the season to try to learn this offense and then trying to fit into what they were trying to do, right? It's really tough because now all of a sudden you go from where you hadn't really played, fully or consistently for 2 years into now the offense where you got the best quarterback in football who has velocity coming out of his hand like a pitcher, like his father was throwing heat down the pipe. And now you got to learn this highly complex offense. So, yeah, you know what? We were expecting, I'm sure people were expecting 2013, 2014 Josh when you heard his name, right? That was our expectation. Yeah. Everybody wanted to move past because they didn't get that guy. Well, that's not the guy that was going to show up, right? But it's still Josh Gordon. And Josh Gordon still is a ball player. He's a player. He's a good wide receiver. So, look, man, that's where I'm at in this whole vein of things. I don't, people could disagree with me all they want to. Like I said, if that was my druthers, I'm the coordinator. If I got 12 back there and I'm looking at Josh Gordon and his name on his jersey, got flash, hey man, I'm gonna bring you in. You're gonna be on my squad. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna try to make it, but I'm gonna try to get the ball to you. So this is gonna be a great opportunity, I think, for him coming up this week. And it's gonna be on him to show what he can do if he fits on this. And I think the thing is he's been trying to fit into this whole thing this whole time. And maybe he just needs a little bit of that confidence or kind of that commitment to say, okay, this gets you some reps, see what you're going to do.
And I got to say, whatever happened on Saturday, right? The two drops, not drops, but they weren't, incomplete passes, right? They were nice looking grabs. The one that both he had to pluck out of the air and, show his athletic ability. So he's still showing that he's got it, right?
Yeah.
What the reports I saw, which I'm still trying to grasp why the media there is just like, I see clips about Justin Watson, I see clips about Pacheco all day long, but it's like, and I'll see tweets, videos, right? Then I'll see tweets where it's like, oh, Josh Gordon's like playing pretty hard today. It looks like he knows he's on the fringe of making the team. He's playing hard. It's like, okay, well, show me the clips then. I don't see any clips of it. I barely see clips of Josh Gordon. I'll see tweets, and I saw another tweet the other day was oh yeah, Josh Gordon was running a route, fell on his butt. He had to change his cleats soon after that. And then what's that?
No, I was gonna say sometimes, man, look, all that is just creating a narrative for a guy because they don't champion for him, right?
Right.
They don't want him on the squad. They moved the media's moved off from him, And so that's the reality of it. And so some of the media, some of the fans have moved from him. I've seen enough from Josh Gordon and all this guy's a bum, all this guy's washed up. They've moved on from this guy. Okay. They've already made their minds up. They made a decision. That's what they're going to do. Here at Chiefs Concerns, we're in a different camp. You know what I'm saying? I want Josh to make it. And I think a lot of other people out here want him to make it. Maybe the silent people were saying, like, look, man, we know he still has his ability. And so we see that glimmer of light that, what he had. The thing is, when those 2 routes, he was open.
Yeah.
The balls were late. There was 2 late balls on him. That out route, Pat's throwing it right now. That ball's out there. He's catching it inbounds. He's doing the two-toe drag, right? Probably could have got the other one down, but it was close. Should have. The second one, he has to jump to pull himself back.
Yeah.
He catch the football. Because he's like, man, this ball should have been on me.
Yeah.
And so, look, man, let's just be honest with what we seeing out there. If it's Patrick Mahomes throwing the football on those 2 passes, they're catches.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And he snagged them both, with his hands, no problem. So
yeah, and I wonder too if Josh had completed both those catches. I wonder if the narrative would have changed, where it's people say, "Oh, pack your bags, Josh, you're out of here." But if he catches those passes, oh man, Josh is really making a case for himself. It's like they still would have
found something negative about it. They would have still said, "Oh well, he's going against the second corner or whatever like that, so he should get open." It still would have been something because they are, like I said, they've already made their mind up about this deal. So. My thing is, Josh, if he sees this or stuff like that, man, look, we are on your side.
Yeah.
Okay. And look, the Chiefs brought him in because they knew who they had in this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So let's not get it twisted. We already know what it is. So they know the ability that he's got. And so sometimes, it does take some time. So he needed that whole offseason to learn the offense, but I think he has down now. Okay. There's good competition that's in the room, which is great. You know what I'm saying? To have that competition. My thing is, if you are staying with those guys, MVS, JuJu, Hardman, Skyy, now you got Justin Watson. Shoot, in my book, Josh is right up there with everybody else from that point on, right? Yep. Josh, Doris Fountain, Cornell, Powell, all those guys are in that kind of that boat of things.
Yeah.
But I tell you who's a proven receiver in the NFL. I'll tell you that. Okay. Yeah. I tell you the dude that has the ability that people still respect. I tell you that. And it's not saying anything bad about the other guys, because I love those guys too. I think all those guys can still play. But I tell you what, if 12 figures it out and just goes out and just play, shoot. I know who would be one of the top receivers on the squad. Put it that way.
Yeah. And I'll say this too, and I think someone's got to give for this, where it's like, I'm not saying anything against Doris Fountain or Cornell Powell or anybody else. I think I
love them guys.
Yeah, love them. Cornell's a friend of the show. We love Cornell.
Absolutely, rooting for him.
If Josh if Josh were to get cut, there's a high probability he'll get claimed off waivers and he'll go to Denver. Russell Wilson loved him, and he wanted him in Seattle. That's part of the reason why he had a problem with Seattle. Yeah. I guarantee he would be on the first flight to Denver. Yeah. Besides that, I think there's a high probability if we let Fountain or Cornell Powell go, I think we could probably get those guys back into our practice squad again. I think we could. Whereas Josh Gordon, I think he's gone. He's gone if we let him go.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. He's going to be a hot topic. I guarantee. Look, I right now, just off the top of my head, sure, I could probably name you 10 teams that are using right now.
Oh yeah,
easy, and I guarantee somebody's like, oh, they let him go. Make a phone call right now. Go get him. I promise you that. So they're gonna take a chance with him. Shoot, because we seen what's out there in the NFL on teams, wide receiver. Some rooms get crowded sometimes, man, and sometimes it is just that competition.
Yeah,
it's how things work, man. But I just, to say he's washed up, man. Come on, they say the same thing about Odell Beckham Jr. Said the same thing.
Yeah.
He goes out there, get a better quarterback, better system, and he's hitting people over the head, and he's hitting his head on the goalpost, burning everybody. So we could say that. Everybody's so quick to, he's washed up because, like I said before, everybody's expecting 2014 Josh to show up last year.
Yeah.
For a man that hadn't played consistently for 2 years, right? Trying to learn a very complex offense. He's behind. Okay, fine. You know what? They still got the AFC Championship game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, hey, whole offseason, things happened, didn't work like it was. Guys in the room, and that's what I love. I love the room because you got a lot. You have you have a problem that wasn't there last year, right? Because it was like, oh my gosh, who do we have, right?
Yeah.
We got Tyreek, Hardman, who's not consistent, and then
Pringle.
you got Pringle and Robinson. Then it's like, who, right? It was one of those things.
Yeah.
Now, shoot, now you got some guys.
Yeah.
It's gonna make it tough, but
now it's a gauntlet. So whoever comes out on top of that 6 receivers, like, well, you worked your butt off and you earned it. So, like, there you go.
Hey man, hey, look, that's how the NFL goes. And so if he makes the team, cool. If he doesn't, fine. But I know somebody's going to be able to utilize him. And I've said, if you're looking around the league and the older guys is getting signed and they still catching 54 balls, AJ Green and then Julio going down there to Tampa, Odell Beckham Jr. is going somewhere. There's a lot of guys that are not washed up that got names that's good receivers. So somebody's going to be able to use it. Somebody's going to be able to use his talents.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
I'm still hoping it's in Kansas City.
Yeah, of course. No, of course, man. And I'm gonna say, the reason I like for it to be in Kansas City, and it's just not about making the team. I think the entire structure of the organization about how much they care about the players, and I think they invested in Josh. And I think Josh understands that, and he feels like this is a home for him. I think works in his favor.
Yeah, that's
why I say that. I think he for I don't want to say for the first time. I want to say he's very comfortable out here. He feels the welcoming, area and environment of Kansas City and the organization. We're a top organization out there, man.
Yeah,
and that's what I like about it because I'm sure they're giving you a lot of support and they care about their players. They care about them. So, maybe other places he played at, all they care about winning and what you can do out on the football field. Kansas City is going to be a little bit more different, and I think he feels that. And I think that's why they made him feel very, comfortable being here.
Yeah, and he's turned his life around, and a lot can say, being in Kansas City maybe it helped him.
No doubt. And sometimes that's what a guy needs, man. He needs that support, and support is very important, for a guy like this. And I think he has that humility, and humbleness because he understands what they offered him, the gratitude that he has with that. So
yeah,
that's the reason I'm saying that. I think that's my selfishness for him to be here, because I know it's a great organization for him, the great atmosphere for him to be a champion and a winner.
So this weekend, you think that's going to be it's going to tell us a lot about those last few spots on this last spot with the receivers.
Yeah. I think it'll start bearing itself out. I think so. You got the third game, of course. So they always come down to the last cuts.
Right.
There's other guys I know that, from what the cut's going to be. There's going to be some other guys, man, that's going to kind of,
right,
leave up out of here because of that. But I like I said, if it was something that they got rid of him, it was like, hey, maybe it's best for we get rid of him now so he can go somewhere and find somewhere to go play.
Right.
Or we pushing for him to kind of make it. If he turns it on, if he's healed like he should be, mentally he's there with everything, still running routes and catching the football. Shoot. Yeah, maybe we need to have this guy.
Yeah. But
yeah, man, I just, for the life of me, I could give you an argument why the guy needs to be here, why he should be here.
Yeah.
Shoot. Like I said, if I'm the coordinator, I wouldn't even hesitate.
Yeah. No, that's I mean, to say we're arguing for him to be our sixth receiver, I mean, not many people can go six deep and have their sixth guy be someone who can be very dangerous and explosive in the NFL. And that's
right.
Sixth guy.
And look, and we know there's going to be injuries, right? I mean, look at it right now.
Yeah.
Mecole's hurt, JuJu, maybe with his history. And so you're going to need a guy, that's been there before, that's got experience, that can make the tough catches, that can body guys up. And so, look, and if I'm looking in the room, like I said before, I'm looking at eyes and I like 12.
Yeah.
Come on, 12. Need you today, baby. Need about 5 from you. Can you give me 5 of them? 2 tubs? Sure.
Hey, he said his press conference last week, I'm doing whatever coach tells me to do. So there you go.
Do whatever coach tells me to do. So go get 2 tubs and five catches. About 120. Do that.
Yeah, I hope he shows us some of that on Saturday so we can say there's no more doubt in some of these people's minds.
Yeah, but look, and don't get me wrong. I mean, look, and we pushing, like I said, for our guy, Cornell Powell. Yeah. And I hope he gets his due. Go out there and show what he can do, right? I just think sometimes it's unfair when you have to deal with, Crumb and this line, and you don't have the timing, and all those things are different. It's different, and so you just got to do what you can do. Yeah, what you got. So
yeah, well, and also for us, it's like when we see the BS that's going on with like who media is pushing out and like they're pushing out certain people, and it's like you're putting down others. It's like, nah, we're not letting that go, so like that's why we're kind of making a point to, okay, well, Josh Gordon is doing these things. You may not be seeing them tweeted from the Sports Illustrated accounts, the Arrowhead Pride accounts, or the KCSN accounts, but no, there are clips of Josh Gordon out there. You kind of have to dig for them a little bit. They're making it hard to find, but we're putting them out there.
Right. Hey, man, guy's still dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Still a good player. So,
yep. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get podcasts.